So obviously, ex-Leeds, you had a fantastic season with them last year. Just tell us what that kind of meant to you and what you developed from it in terms of the skills and abilities, really, and the things that you learned from that time over at Leeds.
Yeah, I learnt a lot about myself, and I feel like I grew as a person as well. Not just my rugby improved, but me as a person. Playing against, playing alongside some great players like Kev and again Jonesy and JP. They've got really good outlooks on life as well, and I tend to, when I meet people, I tend to try and take a little bit from them, their good part, and try and incorporate them in myself and how I think about and how I react to things. And since having been there, and I don't look at failure as a big thing no more. I used to really get down when we used to get beat and stuff like that, whereas they've learnt me a lot on how to cope with it. And obviously I got the passion and my love back for the game there, and I've got a lot for them guys and the club to thank for that.
Of course, when you went over there, you went on loan. It's always a difficult thing for a player to do, isn't it? Because there's that sense that am I not needed at my first team, but then you kind of showed them that, you still has lots to offer.
Yeah, I think that it was just very lucky how it came about. I think that my type of player, my style of game really complemented Leeds, and they really complimented me, and I think that's why I did really well there, and I got my passion back for the game, I got my love back for the game, and that's why I played so well, because I thought that we did benefit each other. And so yeah, that was probably one of the best things that's ever happened for me as a player and a person.
And to come away with silverware as well. I mean, would you have dreamt that in your wildest dreams, really?
No, not at all, because earlier on that season I was actually playing for Huddersfield's under-20s against Leeds' under-20s, and you get there and you're playing the curtain raisers before the first team, and I was 25 at the time, and I was just thinking, where's my career going, and then like how many months later I was picking up the grand final trophy. So it just shows you that so much can change and so much can happen in one season. It's a lot longer than what people think.
What were your thoughts then? So you lift up a trophy, you get a winner's ring, and you're still kind of unaware or unsure about where your future is, and how difficult was that for you to deal with?
Yeah, it was quite difficult, but at the same time I wanted to enjoy everything at the moment. I thought, well, if I never get here again, and I'm going to enjoy it for what it is. And like I say, I was lucky enough to win the grand final with the Leeds and had a fantastic time there. So I looked at it as a positive way, that if I don't end up being there, well, it's not a bad thing. I've learnt a lot about myself, I've improved my game. So in a way, I was really happy with myself. But again, like you say, it was really hard because I didn't know what I was doing, and I really wanted to stay at Leeds at the time, and I didn't see it happening. And then it didn't happen, so it was a bitter pill to swallow. But in life, worse things happen in life and stuff like that. I still had a contract at the Giants, and now I'm really happy back at the Giants, to be fair. And I'm, like I say, it's coming out on how I'm playing, and I'm feeling I'm having an even better season than what I did last year. Because at Leeds I was coming off the bench a lot, whereas here I'm playing more minutes than what I've ever played each week. So, and I'm playing good quality minutes as well, and contributing to the team really well. So I'm very happy with how things have worked out.
Is it that change of, obviously the head coach changed as well, and the ethos that Baloo brings in is slightly different? Did that make a difference into how you thought you were perceived really by the coaches and the coaching staff and your abilities?
Yeah, no, it's with the coach. I've always got on well with Nathan Brown, and I've got a lot for him to thank me for. I really have. He's improved my game so much, and he gave me a chance. So, and you're always grateful for that coach that gave you your first chance and first shot at the Super League, and so I'm really happy with that. But at the same time, I wasn't enjoying it. Not like I say, I didn't hold any grudges against any of the coaching staff. I just knew that there was players playing better than me at the time. But then I started doubting myself, and then your confidence goes, and it's a lonely place when your confidence goes in rugby league. Nobody sees that side of rugby.
How did you deal with that? How did that come out in you?
I just sort of just kept happy, just tried to keep as happy as I could, and kept training hard, and kept a smile on my face, and hoping that my fortunes would turn around at Huddersfield. And then I had to bite the bullet and realise that it's not happening here. I need to go somewhere else. And then I asked Nathan to go out on loan, and surprise, Leeds came in for me, which I was over the moon with, and I was still sceptical going there, because like, even though you go on loan, you're not guaranteed to play. And like, was I jumping out jumping out the fire into the jumping out the frying pan into the fire. So it was a big decision for me to make, but at the end of the day I just backed myself and went for it. And luckily for me, I've got a really good steady home life with my missus and my little fella, so coming home I could get away from rugby, escape and be happy.
So you had the anchor at home that
I had the anchor at home,
made you feel confident in yourself.
Yeah, like sometimes you can be really happy at rugby, but then you come home and your family life's not sorted, whereas it was the opposite way around for me. And now that everything's coincided together, now I'm really happy at home, which I've always been, but just as happy on the pitch.
It's all perfect.
Well, yes, it's as perfect as it can be. Nothing lasts forever. You go through your ups and downs and stuff like that. It's just how you deal with them and don't let them beat you.
Did that make you realise, as you talked about earlier about growing as a person, you realise that certain things are there to challenge you, and if you meet the challenge, then you can develop and progress from it?
Yeah, because people from the outside, they'll look at rugby and they'll see players that are playing really well and they'll think that they've got no cares, they've got no worries at home, but then you go to the club and you see that they've had a tough time before, and you take that's what I was saying about taking little bits from each player, how they react to things and stuff, and like you say, you realise you're not the only one that's been through it or going through it at the time, so you just got to sort of just cop it on the chin and just deal with it, because if you let it beat you, then who knows, I might have quit by now, do you know what I mean? So, but at the end of the day, I just got my head down and stuck in it, and like I say, worse things happen to people in life, and that, and we're very lucky and very fortunate in what we do.
Things are going well, aren't they, at Bradford? Things are going well at Huddersfield as well at the moment, second in the table, and keeping that consistency, which is what Huddersfield have failed in the last few years, but you're consistent now.
Yeah, that's the main thing, isn't it, with any team, if you're consistent, because you see the likes of the teams at the bottom of the ladder beating the teams at the top one week, and then they're playing teams and they're getting put 40 and 50 by them. So it is the consistency, that's the main thing. If you're playing consistently well but still getting beat, well, that's not necessarily the end of the world, because you're still playing well, and maybe a bounce of a ball didn't go your way, or you got a penalty against you that cost you the game. So you know that if you're playing consistently well, you know that you're putting yourself in for a shout of winning the game, and that's what we're doing at the moment. We had a slip up at Hull KR, but that was down to our own lapses. We, like I say, we done enough to win the game in the first half, but then we just went out in the second half and took our foot off the gas. That you can't do it against Hull KR, because they're such a good attacking side. They've got some quality players in there, and we slipped up. So, but again, sometimes it's good to have a little slip up, because it gives you the kick up the backside that you need every now and again. Yeah, which we've sort of done all right this year. We've maybe played a little, maybe off par, but then we've had a big game the week after, and then we've really put it right in the week in training. So hopefully we've had our kick up the behind against Hull KR, and then hopefully make it right against Leeds.
And against Catalan, that's another big one to win, isn't it? Another scalp to get, that you really need to be beating those teams that are going to be challenging near the end.
Yes, we've got a really tough 4 games coming up. We've got Leeds, Catalan, I think it's Warrington or Hull FC. I don't know which, either way around, I think.
Is it Challenge Cup one coming up as well? Or is
I think so, I'm not sure. But I'm sure we've, in our next 6 games, I think we've got the Challenge Cup as well, like in there. So we have got a really tough games coming up. Yeah,
for you, isn't it?
Yeah, so we know that if we can get through here, and it's good because you've got to play tough teams week in, week out. It'll only do us good for the end of the playoffs, because obviously when you get to the playoffs, you don't play the teams at the bottom of the table no more. They're out. You play the top teams, so you need to be playing the top teams regular. And I think that if we do well in these next 4 to 6 weeks, I think will put us in a massive, it'll make us very confident going into the playoffs, because we know that we can back week to week what you need to do.
You're quite a positive person, really, aren't you? I suppose that's really stood you in good stead over the last year or so.
Yeah, well, you've got to be, aren't you? Like I said, you read the paper every day and you see people that are very unfortunate and are struggling and stuff like that, and sometimes you get wrapped up in yourself and you start feeling sorry for yourself, but then you just think, why I've got not to feel sorry for myself. I've got a great job, I've got a great partner, I've got a beautiful son. What else can I want? And I've got my chickens now, so there's not much more you can have. Obviously, everyone wants to win the lottery and everything and that, but you just got to be happy with what you got, aren't you, at the end of the day? And simple things keep me very amused and happy in life, so that's how I live my life.
Little
really.
chickens, absolutely.
Yeah.